Good evening, one and all. We welcome you all to the International Webinar Series on Holistic Health, Well-being and Sustainable Development 2026, commemorating Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, nation celebrating 78 years of independence and United Nations Sustainable Development Goals 2015 to 2030 and Viksit Bharat at 2047. As part of awareness and campaigns in collaboration with Sri Holistic Health Foundation India and Sri Research Institute Center for Arts, Sciences and Wellbeing. Before we start our sessions, let's take the blessings of Almighty. With the blessings of Almighty, we shall continue with today's commemorations and celebrations. Today is commemorated as International Repetitive Strain Injury Awareness Day on February 28th, which is observed every year on February 28th or February 29th if it's leap year. This year it takes place on February 28th, and this day is set to educate people about repetitive strain injuries. The day is celebrated by healthcare professionals and caretakers to help their patients prevent and recover from such injuries. Repetitive strain injuries are a type of injury that occurs when an organ is hurt due to constant movements and overuse. These types of injuries are common in sports persons and are not unlikely to be found in other people. Two, with care and attention, such injuries can be recovered from and completely prevented. Today is also commemorated as International Sword Swallows Day. If you enjoy all the wide and wonderful, then the International Swallows Day, which takes place on the last Saturday in February, is the day for you. This year it will be held on February 28th. Sword swallowers, that is those guys who pass long, pointy, sharp instruments through their mouths into their stomachs, often don't get the same level of fame and respect as other entertainers. This day was especially created to recognize and appreciate sword swallowers while educating people about their contribution to the world. This day has another purpose too. It attempts to eradicate all myths surrounding sword swallowing and bring global attention to how the sword swallowing community has helped both medically and scientifically. The month of February also plays host to National Swallowing Disorders Month. This initiative was formed to raise money to esophageal cancer research and fund medical treatment of injured sword swallowers. Today is also commemorated as International Tongue Twister Contest Day on February 28th in US. So International Tongue Twister Contest Day is celebrated on the last Saturday of February every year. This year it takes place on February 20th. The goal is to do exactly what it says on the tin and celebrate good-natured tongue twister contest. The day commemorates the annual International Tongue Twister Contest Day held at Logic Puzzle Museum in Burlington, Wisconsin. The contest was first organized in 2008 and has been an unyielding annual tradition since it is open to participants between the ages of 6 and 106 years of age. Prizes include wonderful objects from below tongue twisters like a peck of pickled peppers. Today is also commemorated as Lingus Pauling Day in US. On February 28th each year, scientist, health advocate, and peace activists. The list of achievements of this author and educator would be as long as thesis. The Orion-born chemical engineering, best known for his outstanding contributions to chemistry and biochemistry, particularly in illuminating the nature of chemical bonds, considered the father of molecular biology. Pauling won 2 Nobel Prizes in 1954 for chemistry and in 1962 for leading efforts against weapons of mass destruction and nuclear arms race. Orion State University commemorates his achievements every year on February 28th, which is Pauling's birthday. Today is also commemorated as National Chocolate Souffle Day in US. It is the height of French its own day to be celebrated. So let's put on our aprons, preset our ovens, and gather our finest ingredients. But head to our favorite French restaurants and enjoy National Chocolate Souffle Day. Today is also commemorated as National Customized Wheel and Tire Day on February 20th. Was established with car lovers in mind. Let's face it, car lovers put so much effort and money into ensuring their vehicles reflect their personalities and undeniable love for automobiles. This day honors them and pays homage to where tires come from, how they are developed over the years, and the inspiring ahead. Wheels and tires are one of the many elements that make up a car. You could even argue that they are most important ones apart from the engine and the most experienced to maintain. We love how many people admire and respect their cars or wheels. Today is also commemorated as National Essay Day on February 28th, the birthday of Michael de Montaigne, who was author of the first ever writings called essays. This day encourages students to unleash their inner writings and compose essays on different topics. So this lets them explore idea generation and writing freely and without stern academic guidelines and restrictions. Today is also commemorated as National Pancake Day on February 28th in US, which is a perfect key ingredient for a perfect breakfast. This February 20th, get yourself a mouth-watering stack towards heaven because it's National Pancake Day, celebrated annually in spring, and since beginning is the first celebration in 2006. IHOP restaurants have raised over 24 million to support charities in the communities in which they operate. Today is also commemorated as US Snow Show Day on February 28th in US, which happens every February 28th, and one of the most fun and obscure special days. We celebrate it's all about a particular item of clothing or accessory, if you will, honored for its ingenuity in allowing people to transverse, traverse through the snow, throw in an annual race using these efficient inventions, and you have a fun event that thousands of people flock to yearly, even though the shoe has a relatively rich history and US Snowshoe Day is still pretty new. Today is also commemorated as Rare Disease Day on February 28th. With so many things going on in the world, it's very easy to put off important things like health. That's why the last day of February each year is marked our calendars to bring awareness to rare diseases. An average of 1 in 20 people live with a rare disease at least once in their lifetime. Few of which see any sign of cure. The goal of rare diseases is to improve knowledge amongst the general public of rare diseases while encouraging researchers and decision makers to address the needs to those living with rare diseases. Today is also commemorated as National Virgin Lipstick Day on February 28th. Makeup has been around for more than thousands of years. Yet wrap your head around and you can. Makeup has been used since ancient Egypt times in the West, and then came cruelty-free makeup products like virgin lipstick created for the individuals living virgin lifestyle who choose to use. Then came up cruelty-free products like virgin lipstick created for So then came cruelty-free makeup products like virgin lipstick created for individuals living virgin lifestyles who choose to use products that don't harm animals or contain animal products. This special day is all about them and their lipstick. Today is also commemorated as National Time Refund Day on February 28th in the US. For Americans, since it requires you to do nothing. The day that comes after every 4 years during the leap year is an occasion where you are given back 24 hours to celebrate and do as you please on February 29th. This means the day can either be spent partying, doing course or lazing around or doing some beneficial work or charity work or philanthropy work or praying the God. The bottom line is that you have to use the day to perform tasks that you otherwise find no time for it. The next day The leap year arrives. We expect you to celebrate its occurrence in whichever way you please. Today is also commemorated as National Science Day on February 28th in India. Each year marks a special celebration for Indians. It is the anniversary of the day Indian physicist Sir C.V. Raman made a significant scientific discovery. Today, National Science Day showcases the importance of science in everyday life and gives regular people an opportunity to see how science innovation can improve lives and encourage societal development. Many scientific centers and institutions hold debates, scientific competitions, lectures, TV shows, and even public speeches to celebrate this day. So Chandrasekhara Venkat Raman, more commonly known as C.V. Raman, was a gifted child. He finished his school very early, completing his secondary education at level and his higher secondary education at 13. Later receiving his bachelor's degree at 16 while he is studying physics, passing with honors. He took up accounting as a safe choice, only quitting when he was finally offered a teaching position at a college in Calcutta, now Kolkata, in India in 1970. 4 years later, on a trip to Europe, Raman first noticed the striking blue color of icebergs and the Mediterranean Sea. He couldn't figure out how the color appeared and set out to disprove the prevailing theory of time, which alleged that the sunlight scattered upon entering Earth's atmosphere, causing different colors to appear. Raman began conducting experiments by himself, later assigning research responsibilities to his student K.S. Krishnan. They discovered that when light passes through a transparent material, some light emerges scattering in different directions. These results, published in 1928, took the scientific community by storm, so much so that Raman fully expected to be awarded the Nobel Prize in the same year. He was overlooked that the following year. However, Raman's confidence in his discovery did not waver, and he was so sure himself that he booked two tickets, one for himself and one for his wife, on a steamship to Stockholm in July, when the announcement of the Nobel Prize would be in the November. He won the Nobel Prize in Physics that year, drawing attention to his work and Indian scientific community. Adolf Meckel, an Austrian physicist, describes the scattering of light effect, but it's only still a theory in 1923. A week before Raman publishes his now famous theory, Soviet physicists Grigory Landsberg and Leonid Mandelstam observed the scattering of the light effect in crystals, but they published their paper months after Raman, and thus they are not recognized as the original discoveries of this effect. Timing is everything. 1928. So physicist Peter Brinksham from University of Berlin studies and reproduces Raman theory of scattered light perfectly, calling this effect the Raman effect in 1928. The National Council for Science and Technology Communication, NCSTC, asked the Government of India to declare February 28 as the National Science Day to promote science and scientific thought in 1986. So the National Council for Science and Technology Communication promotes this event by announcing special National Science Popularization Awards, which award scholarships, grants, and other prizes to winners on February 28, 1987. India celebrates with science-oriented themes each year to bring more attention to this area of learning. Past themes range from information to technology to waste management, and 2022's theme is an integrated approach in science and technology for a sustainable future. celebrated in November. World Science Day highlights the importance of science in society and need to engage the public in debates on emerging scientific issues. It also underlines the importance and relevance of science in day-to-day lives. Colleges and science institutes across the country celebrate National Science Day by organizing public speeches, lectures, debates, quiz competitions, science model exhibitions, science movies, and science exhibitions on themes and concepts. So, honor, the underlying theme of the day, celebrate science and exploration in all its forms, discover new theories you have never known before, perform your scientific experiments, and watch scientific great talks about their love for this bunch of learning. Share your love of science with others around you. Introduce them to this day, to C.V. Raman, and to various innovations that use science to make our lives better. So today, Raman made history as the first non-white person, the first Asian, and the first Indian to win the Nobel Prize for his work. The Royal Society of London elected Raman as a fellow in 1924, a honor given only to a few. He resigned for reasons unknown, becoming the very first Indian fellow to do so. His work on the Raman effect saw him get knighted by the British government in India. His official title was Sir Chandrasekhara Venkat Raman. He pioneered Indian research. He was the main contributor to most research institutions built in India during active years, including the Indian Journal of Physics and the Indian Academy of Sciences. He opposed the then Prime Minister of India, Jawaharlal Nehru, policies on scientific research so much that he smashed his Bharat Ratna medallion, which is the highest civilian award given to Indians, given to him by Nehru. He stayed true to science. We love science. It brings order to chaotic world. It gives us answers to questions we didn't know we had, and it's a constant journey of amazing discovery. We all for highlighting efforts people make towards science in the interest of more exploration and invention. In this way, the day honors them. National Science Day provides regular people with an opportunity to develop an interest in science by understanding how the branch of learning can solve everyday problems. This in turn increases the interest in science and scientific activities. Today is also commemorated as National Public Sleeping Day on February 28th in US. Sleep escapes many people throughout the night, so if you do a little shut-eye day, even in public, it's totally fine because it's National Public Sleeping Day on February 28th. If you feel like going to nod off on the park bench at the beach, no one will think poorly of you. It's actually what we are called to do. So grab a pillow and be prepared for the magical moment when you can doze off in public. Today is also commemorated as Global Scouts Day on February 28th. Today is also commemorated as Floral Design Day. Which is commemorated on February 28th in the US. Recognizes the art, history, and significance of floral designs. Floral designs are one of the most important cultural art forms in the world. For thousands of years, floral design has been used in many forms across the world. And let's explore a little more about this unique day and its origin. Today is also commemorated as Car Keys and Small Change Day on February 28th. It's not a day to celebrate car keys and small change, as the name implies. The day is actually a celebration of the place where those seemingly unrelated items are stored pockets. Yes, the small opening or pouch that forms part of person's clothing and is used to carry small items. This necessary but often undervalued part of the clothes has been around much bigger than you think, can be traced as far back as 3300 BC. Today is also commemorated as Andalusia Day on February 28th in Spain, that takes place on February 28th every year. So the day serves to commemorate the referendum on the Statue of Autonomy of Andalusia, which took place on February 28, 1980. This was when the Andalusian electorate voted for the statute that made Andalusia as an autonomous community of Spain, which was noteworthy event in the country. It helped them get much closer to the government goals. The citizens and Lucy are patriotic and happy to celebrate their national progress. They incorporate their traditional culture into the national celebrations. Today is also commemorated as Sea Week on February 28th. From February 28th to March 8th, which is celebrated in New Zealand. The celebrations are organized by the New Zealand Association for Environmental Education. NZAE, the non-profit organization, promotes, supports a sustainable relationship between human beings and all marine life. Every year, the NZAE gets members and volunteers, groups, and organizations to participate in the activities of CB. The events are diverse and designed to include members of all age groups. CVIC is celebrated in schools with activities and presentations, marine ecosystem field trips and engagements that improve the health of marine ecosystem. Members volunteers to clean beaches and go kayaking and snorkeling and take pledges to be sustainable. Today is also commemorated as Jewish Book Week on February 28th till March 8th, which is celebrated in February and March each year, which is essential because the Jews has faced numerous injustices throughout the history of time, and this may be due to the widespread hatred against this religious group. But in reality, people of all religions have the same fundamental belief and follow similar rules and regulations. Hence, in a world where discrimination reigns, events such as Jewish Book Week break barriers, and this week also provides a glimpse into the history of the Jews, and it's important for youngsters who are not in touch with their traditions and culture. So with this, we shall end today's commemorations and celebrations. We request everyone to quickly fill up the feedback form that has been raised in the form of votes. See you all tomorrow with the same joining link at the same time for different commemorations and celebrations. Take care. Good night.